3 of this already brilliant season, and we're here in Japan for the Japanese Grand Prix. And it was Summerfou who took pole quite a while ago and did it over a good margin to the rest of the grid. Oyinkro, who was up in P2 in the sprint just a few days ago, is now down in P8, and outside of the points we have the usual suspects being Cadillac, Audi, and at the very back it's Williams. So let's get ready to race as the 5 red lights are on, because the formation lap has been complete and the Japanese Grand Prix is officially underway. We've got racing here in Suzuka. It's a good start from Summerfou, covering off the outside line into turn 1, and it's going to be Red Boy who's clear and clean sailing into turn 2, and he gets the move on Sarfraz up into second place. Cornwell trying to dance his way around the outside of that second Porsche car, being Nubert Nunes, and in behind it's going to be Namzar making an overtake for P4. What move is going to be, and he gets himself up another position off the track there, and Red Boy squeezing him off, going off the track himself even. Very, very, very desperate in these first couple of laps here as they make their way into the hairpin, and it's going to be Cornwell into the barriers just like in the sprint. History repeats itself very recently, and he will now have to change that front wing. Very, very disappointing for him. His race is basically over. And it's Armadillo going down the inside at the Casio triangle, and he's going to get it around the outside. Another move there from Zen, and Oyinkro in behind them as Namzar and another car up ahead went side by side for a brief second, and DRS in a train for many of these cars in behind. And it's Red Boy into the pit lane, going onto the set of hard tyres to take him to the end of this Grand Prix, while your boy is onto the mediums looking to go for that 2-stop. But we are getting reports for some rain, so it might be better to go on to the fastest tyre at this part of the Grand Prix. And that is Charles Leclerc. It looks like he's going into the pit lane, but what for? The droplets are starting to perform, and it's going to be Zen into the pit lane for the Inters. Summerfou into the pit lane for the Inters. That is very... And it's Red Boy moving through into the pit lane finally, but this is going to put him outside of the points because they left him up for an extremely long time, and putting on the hard tyres, getting those tyres up to temperature is going to take a while. And it's Summerfou into the pit lane first, other than Cornwell who's down in P16. He's going to go onto the dry tyres to the end of the race, depending on which one he goes to. He goes to the mediums. Surely they have enough firepower in them to take him to the very end of this Grand Prix, but many other cars in. It's going to be Sarfraz and Charles Leclerc double stacking here in Suzuka. Here is Silla chasing down Charles Leclerc with only a few laps to go here. He has got the battery, he's got the overspeed, and can he make the overtake as he makes his way, gaining and gaining and gaining, shifting over to the inside line and making the move on the McLaren. Into turn 1 they go, and he's solidified the brilliant pass on the papaya. But Charles Leclerc, he's come back around the outside to the inside. What a move it's going to be from the Monegasque in the McLaren, taking back the position from the rookie. They were both in Formula 2 last season and now fighting in Formula 1, and that is a way to reclaim the position from your rival. And it's going to be Oyinkro chasing down on the last lap here, onto the last lap, going on there on lap 25. Summerfou on lap 26 already, going down the inside, and he's made contact with Namzar, and it's going to be a better exit just about for Oyinkro through the final corner. He roars through and up into P7, and it's going to be the DRS enabled for him, and onto the last lap. That is pretty much P7 concealed and confirmed for the rookie. It's much worse than the sprint result, but it is still a result. The Unk has dominated once again. He moves into 130R, cruising through, not a care for the world, as he rounds the final couple of corners. Once again, it's no surprise, Summerfou dominates another race. He wins in Suzuka. He wins the Japanese Grand Prix. What a way to do it. Leading almost every single lap. What a drive from a brilliant driver. Summerfou scores 25, Red Boy scores 0, and Sarfraz out the points. Ladies and gentlemen, Summerfou, your new championship leader.